I remember the chill of that peculiar evening, when the house seemed to exhale a quiet expectancy into the falling dusk. The subtle symphony of creaking wood and murmuring pipes always had a story to tell, but nothing compared to the enigmatic noise that emanated from the long-sealed attic. It was a sound both rhythmical and deliberate, a scratching that escalated like the beating of an unknown heart. The evening air was thick with a tension that made every familiar creak of the floorboards resonate with a hint of menace. In that moment, the ordinary noises of home transformed into a sinister hymn, drawing my curiosity and fear together in a single focused gaze above. Within those hushed beams of twilight, every object appeared to hold its breath, and even the gentle rumble of the wind outside was swallowed by an eerie silence. A sense of something unfathomable stirred in the recesses of that aged home, hinting at secrets that had long been confined in the darkened spaces. The antique portraits on the walls and the well-worn furniture seemed almost to lean in, absorbing every note of the mysterious sound. This was not the idle creak of old timber settling. It was a deliberate and relentless rhythm that drew one's attention unfailingly upward, to the attic, a place shrouded in abandoned memories and forgotten histories. Every beat of the scratching echoed with the promise of unspoken stories, each one more haunting than the last. The dim glow of a solitary lamp cast shifting shadows along the worn floor, an ever-changing canvas that mirrored the turmoil within. As the clock ticked in measured, deliberate beats, it seemed to emphasize every unexpected sound that the darkness concealed. Within this realm of half-light and flickering silhouettes, every crevice and corner loomed with hidden intent. The ancient house, its walls steeped in history and mystery, now served as the stage for a narrative written in whispers and unexplained disturbances. The subtle interplay of light and darkness promised revelations laced with the unsettling thrill of fear. Time and memories merged in the quiet pulse of the evening, and an undercurrent of disquiet settled over the space. The soft scratching from above beckoned me with a mysterious persistence that I could neither ignore nor fully understand. In that delicate balance, my mind filled with uneasy anticipation. Every sensation was charged with an unspoken warning that something otherworldly had found its voice in the silence of my home. Within the quiet confines of the night, the house presented itself as an enigmatic puzzle. Each room offered fragments of forgotten tales, as if time, in its relentless passage, had layered history over everyday existence. The living room, adorned with faded wallpaper and relics of past celebrations, now seemed more like a mausoleum of memories than a cheerful abode. The walls, thick with the soot of countless fires that had warmed this place in winters long past, carried the silent remnants of laughter and sorrow. The air hung heavy with the scent of old books and the lingering musk of incense burned in ages gone by. Every piece of furniture, each time-worn ornament, was a silent witness to secrets that had been buried in layers of dust and echoes. Time, in its infinite canvas, had painted over the house with layers of nostalgia and wonder. Every step taken down the sprawling hallway evoked memories of a bygone era, a time when voices filled the rooms and laughter danced across the ceilings. The gentle hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen was an odd counterpoint to the otherwise heavy silence, reminding me that life, no matter how haunted by the past, continued to pulse within these walls. Shadows moved in corners as though they too were restless, unsettled by the persistent scratching that originated from the attic. There was an undercurrent of something ancient and unresolved, a rhythm that could neither be ignored nor explained away by mere imagination. Venturing deeper into the heart of the home, I recognized the layers of emotions that the bricks and beams had absorbed over decades. There was a compelling aura about the once vibrant corridors, now silent spectators to years of happiness and despair. Each step on the creaking floor decreed the presence of memories long overshadowed by the mundane passage of days. Even the subtle murmur of water from the leaky tap in the hidden corner of the hallway took on a supernatural lilt, as if it were a whisper from another realm. Back then, every whisper had a significance, every sound a note in the melody of life that pulsed throughout the dwelling. Yet now, the rhythmic scratching from the attic unsettled the delicate balance between the familiar and the unknown. As twilight deepened into the velvety embrace of night, the atmosphere within the house took on formidable layers of unease. The clock, a relic from an era of bold designs, ticked on relentlessly, each sound punctuating the timeless silence that blanketed every room. I found myself drawn magnetically to the sound from above, as if compelled by forces beyond mortal understanding. The industrial hum of a broken air conditioner mingled with distant echoes of footsteps. I was sure we're not there, further weaving a tapestry of surreal anticipation. Every crevice in the old structure seemed to contribute its secret to the chilling chorus that demanded a closer look. In the silence of the encroaching night, the interplay of shadows and muted voices created a surreal canvas of mystery, each element defying explanation yet inviting exploration. The rhythmic scratching served not merely as an intrusion upon a quiet evening but as an omen, a signal that the sanctity of the everyday had been breached by the ineffable forces of the past. In this moment, the ghostly murmur of history and the iron grip of fear merged into a single, potent call, urging every fiber of my being to confront the secrets sealed away above. This enigmatic invitation stirred my soul, blending trepidation with an irrepressible desire to unearth what lay hidden in the sanctum above. With each measured heartbeat of the night, the house itself became an archive of emotions and untold confessions, waiting for someone to listen. The layers of history and mystery intertwined until the present was no longer distinct from the past. Every room, each silent corner, breathed memories that refused to be lost, and the persistent attic noise became the thread that bound time together. Driven by an irresistible urge, I ascended the creaking staircase, each step echoing the weight of centuries. The farther I climbed, the more the nocturnal silence seemed infused with an otherworldly cadence. At the top, a heavy, iron-bound door marked the entrance to the attic, a chamber that had not been opened in lifetimes. The door, coated in layers of dust and neglected paint, exuded an aura of mystery. Its surface was scarred with marks of time, each scratch and dent a fragment of untold history. There was a palpable, almost magnetic, pull from within, as if the forgotten past beckoned me to unlock the secret sealed behind it. I approached the door with cautious determination, my hand trembling as it reached for the cold doorknob. The metallic touch sent shivers coursing down my spine, each nerve ending momentarily alive with both dread and anticipation. The silence beyond was profound, a void that seemed to hum with dormant energy waiting to be released. My heart pounded in synchrony with the slow creaks of the ancient floorboards, a metronome marking the passage of moments heavy with expectation. Every sensation was heightened, even the faintest rustle of air felt like a whispered secret from ages long past. Stepping into the attic itself was akin to stepping through a portal to a time when the world was woven with dreams and tragedies. Dust particles danced in the narrow beams of moonlight that filtered through the grimy window, casting a surreal glow over a kaleidoscope of discarded relics. The scattered items, a broken mirror, a tattered diary, old photographs faded by time, spoke of lives once cherished and mysterious moments captured in forgotten frames. Every artifact was imbued with its own aura of melancholy and wonder, echoing the quiet torment of secrets that had bided their time in silence. The relentless scratching now pulsed in the quiet, a heartbeat that filled the attic with an unsettling energy. Each moment inside was a contemplation of the fragile boundary between the known and unknown. I lingered among old trunks and scattered memorabilia, feeling the weight of countless untold stories pressing against the fragile calm of the night. The attic resonated with the echoes of lost voices, each one adding to the symphony of the strange scratching sound. That now seemed like a deliberate utterance from history itself. The multitude of mysteries bound into the very fabric of the space compelled me to search for clues, however faint and cryptic they might be. Ambling further into the somber sanctuary, I encountered relics that whispered hints of previous inhabitants' lives, faded letters tucked into secret compartments, a porcelain figurine with eyes that seemed to follow every movement, and a clock whose hands had long ceased to mark time yet still seemed to beat in quiet defiance of its silence. Each artifact carried an inexplicable gravity that made me believe that the attic was not merely a repository of abandoned possessions, but a living testament to the unresolved tensions of a bygone era. The rhythmic scratching, intermittent yet persistent, coalesced with these tangible remnants to form a narrative that defied the logic of the mundane world. Here, in this neglected haven, every object bore the patina of regret and hope, a fusion of sorrow and memory that beckoned the observer to remember that some mysteries demand attention, even if the truth that awaits is enshrouded in layers of dark allegory. In that moment, the attic transformed from a mere storage space into a living chronicle of fear and curiosity, its every shadow narrating a story of lost lives and silent pleas beyond all reason. My internal world was invaded by visions of spectral apparitions and darkened memories. As I staggered back into the heart of the home, The relentless scratching morphed into a rapid staccato, as if beseeching contact with a tormented soul desperate for release. The sound vibrated under my skin, its frequency echoing through the corridors of my mind with an intensity that defied rational thought. In every moment, the ever-looming presence of the attic haunted me, its unseen force permeating every shadow. The house, now transformed into a labyrinth of fear and confusion, seemed determined to extract secrets from both the living and the forgotten. A surge of adrenaline coursed through my veins as I retraced my steps down the narrow stairs, the sinister melody echoing close behind me. The sound, which had so far whispered and hinted at mysteries, now assaulted my senses in an almost tangible manner. The walls seemed to pulsate as if alive, each vibration heightening the intensity of the atmosphere. Every crevice in the ancient woodwork appeared to open and close, releasing bursts of memories that collided with the present in a torrent of unbidden emotion. The symphony of terror reached into the deepest recesses of my consciousness, making each moment feel like an eternity. With the attic thoroughly explored, an unnerving crescendo overtook the silence of the house. The sound of scratching, once a distant curiosity, now erupted with an urgency that filled every corner of the space with palpable dread. Shadows elongated into menacing shapes under the wavering moonlight, and the air grew thick with a sense of impending revelation. The once placid house now thrummed with a chaotic symphony, the frantic drumming of a hidden force that seemed to challenge the very fabric of reality. Each rapid beat of the mysterious sound resonated deeply within me, stoking a primal fear that was as invigorating as it was horrifying. A final surge of terror overtook the moment as the sound intensified, transforming into a crescendo of disjointed rhythms that pounded like tribal drums from unseen speakers. The coexistence of sound and silence blurred, boundaries melted away under the oppressive gloom. Every nerve screamed in protest at the invasion of this uncanny symphony, while the weight of the house itself seemed to press down upon my chest. The mysterious force now demanded an irrevocable confrontation, its presence undeniable in the clash of past and present. In that last, heart-stopping minute, every second teetered on the brink of absolute revelation, a moment destined to redefine the nature of fear itself. Under the unbearable weight of that final confrontation, the atmosphere shifted into a realm where sound and silence were indistinguishable. The unyielding scratching swelled into a steady barrage that ricocheted off the walls, shattering the fragile calm that had once prevailed. My heartbeat pounded erratically, each throb a stark reminder of the terror enveloping me. Time seemed to slip away as the attic, with lingering echoes and spectral mementos, forced me to confront a past that refused to remain buried. Every shadow and worn relic vibrated with the voices of former lives, each whisper blending into the tumult of the present. In that charged moment, it felt as if the boundaries between memory and reality had dissolved completely, leaving me adrift in a vortex of raw emotion and unfathomable dread. The relentless force demanded not just fear, but an acknowledgement of the countless stories woven into the fabric of this forsaken place. Every beat of that ominous sound carved its presence into the soul of the house, intertwining with the echoes of its history to form lament. As the chaotic symphony faded into a haunting murmur, I found myself standing in the silent aftermath, the weight of what had transpired settling like dust upon my soul. The house, boarded with the memories of its spectral visitors, returned to a semblance of quiet, yet it retained an indelible mark of the night's terrors. In that quiet moment of reflection, the attic no longer seemed a realm of menace but a silent guardian of timeless secrets. Each echo, each creak in the walls, now carried an undercurrent of understanding, a story not wholly of fear, but of the bittersweet interplay between loss and legacy. The experience had reshaped the boundaries of what I deemed natural, forever altering my perception of the spaces that shelter our everyday lives. In the lingering silence, I sensed that the house had imparted a final lesson, that some mysteries, however fearsome, are bridges to the past, vital links in the chain of human existence. Afterwards, every creak of the floorboard and whisper of the wind spoke of a hidden dialogue between the living and the departed. The night's revelations fused with my memory, reminding me that each home cradles the echoes of time. In that quiet aftermath, I learned that our environments are layered with shared history and tender sorrows, urging us to respect the silent stories etched in every corner of our existence. These revelations, etched in the fabric of the night, lingered long after the sounds faded, instilling profound reverence within me truly. As dawn approached, the boundary between nightmare and memory began to soften. In the tender light of early morning, the horrors of the night receded into mere whispers, leaving behind only the heavy residue of lessons learned. The attic and its mysterious noises had become a permanent chapter in the chronicle of this old house, a reminder of the delicate balance between the realms of the tangible and the spectral. Every creak and every shadow served as a quiet testament to the hidden forces that shape our lives. In the soft glow of the rising sun, life resumed its unhurried rhythm. Yet the memory of that terrifying night remained etched deep within, an indelible echo that would forever guide my steps through darkness and light. Every ray of the morning sun seemed to carry a promise of renewal, yet each creak in the house whispered that the past was never truly behind us, lingering in every heartbeat.